It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do you go? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you can have me at your next event. You know, I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Let me entertain you. Make your next thing a big one. Let's see, this week's shows, well, I'm recording this on Saturday, so I have a wedding this evening. I'm starting to get, before every wedding, and I'm going to let you know, let you in on a little secret. I want every wedding to go perfectly, so before every wedding, I get a little nervous. I know I have everything set. I have all the music, I have all the equipment that I need, everything's been checked out, and I know that everything is going to go well on my end. No problem. There won't be a problem with Keys Dan, with the DJ, for sure. But I get nervous. I still get nervous because I want your day to go perfectly. So, and the wedding's not even that far away. Oh, hey, what's up, Arnold Nelson? Yeah, I'm recording this live on Facebook and Twitch and YouTube. So I'm keeping track of the Facebook messages. So if anybody messages on Facebook, I might give you a shout out. So, yeah, Arnold Nelson, he's the king of swang. Yeah, SWANG. Look him up. Look him up on Facebook. Arnold Nelson. Keep the hits, keep the shows coming. That's what he says. All right, yeah, but going back to weddings, I get nervous. And I probably, should I or shouldn't I say that? Never let them see you sweat, right? Isn't that one of the things that people have said over the years? But I want your day to go perfectly. And that's how it is. And always, man, every time at the end of the wedding, wow, that went great. You played the perfect music. Well, yeah, if you planned it, if you picked the music out, I'll do well for you. I'll do real well. The more you plan, the better I am. And these folks this afternoon have planned very, very well. So I'm kind of excited. I think it's going to go just fine. All right. This week's shows, I will be at the Cedar Lounge Bar and Grill. They've assured me that their cleanup process has been done. This will be the second week. So they're going to open up on Wednesday, and they'll be ready for me on Thursday for the karaoke show, the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam. That's the Cedar Lounge in Morrilton, Arkansas, from 6 to 10. Start your weekend early. Now, the RAB, they're going to go ahead and do some cleanup on Friday night, so I probably won't be at the RAB on Friday night, but I do have a wedding next weekend, too. So, yeah, the weddings are coming back. I'm very excited about that. Only reason I mention it, hey, Earl Keith, YouTube tutorial videos make me smarter. LOL. Thank you, Keys Dan. Thank you, Earl Keith. I appreciate that. That's a couple of music guys that just showed up on the Facebook feed. I appreciate that so much. And yeah, I love the music. And I get to play some of that music at the clubs and at parties where I have the choice of what music I want to hear. I'll break out some new artists, and people will go, "Hey, who is that? Oh, that's Arnold Nelson. Who's that? Oh, that's Earl Keith. No problem." So yeah, I enjoy breaking out new artists. That's what a DJ is supposed to do. That's what a club DJ, that's what a radio DJ is supposed to do. I'll play them on RadioWhat.com, which is the computer that's sitting right behind me at RadioWhat.com, spinning not only all the hits that I want to hear, but also, well, all the new hits that I want to hear from the new artists, new independent artists that send me their songs. They get a little rotation on RadioWhat.com, and then I'll try to tweet them so they have some content to tweet out, and people will remember their names and look up their songs. Exciting. People helping people. That's what it's all about. And if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, you could be like Arnold Nelson. He was on the What Makes You Famous podcast, and Earl Keith's going to be coming up real soon on the What Makes You Famous podcast. You can find that podcast everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Now, on with the show. Today on the program, 10 things you need to know today for Saturday, November 14th, 2020. 10 things you need to know today. Number 1, Biden wins Georgia, Trump wins North Carolina. The 2020 presidential election's final states were called on Friday, with President-elect Joe Biden winning Georgia and President Trump winning North Carolina. The results bring Biden's total electoral college win to a margin of 306 to 232, the exact number Trump won in 2016. Biden's win in Pennsylvania brought him past the 270 threshold last Saturday, making him president-elect. Trump has yet to concede the race as he pursues legal options in an attempt to turn over votes, alleging widespread voter fraud, although officials say there is none. Georgia has initiated a recount of its election results because of the narrow margin. Biden became the first Democrat to win Georgia since 1992. This is according to ABC News and the New York Times. Number 2, Warp Speed Chief. 20 million COVID-19 vaccine doses may be ready next month. President Trump gave an update on Friday on Operation Warp Speed, the program working to quickly develop a COVID-19 vaccine. The program's chief advisor, Dr. Moncef Slaoui, said, quote, potentially 2 vaccines and 2 therapeutics may be granted an emergency use authorization before the end of this year, end quote. And that could mean millions of Americans could receive vaccine doses as soon as next month. If approved, quote, we plan to have enough vaccine doses available for use in the U.S. population to immunize about 20 million individuals in the month of December and another 25 to 30 million per month on an ongoing basis from there on, end quote. Slaoui said, no vaccine has been approved for use, though Pfizer's promising candidate may seek approval for emergency use this month. This is according to USA Today. Number 3, U.S. breaks another coronavirus record as states prepare more restrictions. The United States on Friday broke another daily record after reporting more than 181,000 coronavirus infections, bringing the 7-day average to 140,000 cases. The country also set a new mark for hospitalizations across the U.S. 16 states reported a single-day infection highs, and 30 states added more cases in the last week than any other 7-day period since the pandemic began. Several states, including Oregon and New Mexico, implemented heavy new restrictions, while other states like New York are preparing for additional steps. Hospitals are overwhelmed in North Dakota, which is home to the highest rate of new cases per person and deaths in the U.S. After months of resisting more intense measures, the state's governor, Doug Burgum, Republican, announced a mask mandate, an indoor dining limit, and the suspension of high school winter sports and extracurricular activities until December 14th. This is according to the New York Times and CNN. Number 4, Biden calls for urgent action from Trump administration as coronavirus cases rise. President-elect Joe Biden on Friday called for, quote, urgent action, end quote, from the Trump administration as coronavirus infections and hospitalizations continue to rise across the United States. Quote, I am the president-elect, but will not be president until next year, end quote, Biden tweeted. Quote, COVID-19 does not respect dates on the calendar. It is accelerating right now, end quote. Biden said the crisis, quote, demands a robust and immediate federal response, which has been woefully lacking, end quote. His comments came not long after President Trump spoke publicly for the first time since the presidential election, which he has yet to concede despite Biden picking up 306 electoral votes. The president said his administration won't implement a federal lockdown. This is according to President-elect Joe Biden and The Hill. Number 5, report Number 2 Al-Qaeda leader killed in Iran. Intelligence officials have confirmed that Israeli operatives at the behest of the United States assassinated Abu Muhammad al-Masri, and Al-Qaeda's second highest leader in Tehran, Iran, in August. The New York Times reports Al-Qaeda has not announced al-Masri's death, and Iran, which considers Al-Qaeda a bitter enemy, denies the claims he was killed in Tehran, warning media outlets not to fall for the, quote, Hollywood script, end quote. Per the Times, al-Masri was driving his car with his 27-year-old daughter, Hamza bin Laden's widow, Miriam, when 2 gunmen drew up beside him on a motorcycle and fired 5 shots. At the time, Iran identified the victims as Habib Daoud and Hezbollah affiliated a Hezbollah affiliated Lebanese history professor and his daughter Mariam, but intelligence officials told the Times those were aliases. One of Al Qaeda's founding members, Al Masri, was a mastermind behind the 1998 attacks on American embassies in multiple African countries. This is according to the New York Times and Al Jazeera. Number 6, Trump reportedly hands election lawsuit reins to Giuliani. As President-elect Joe Biden's lead grew in Arizona, the Trump campaign dropped its legal challenges throughout Maricopa County on Friday. In response, President Trump tapped his personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, to lead his campaign lawsuits related to the election outcome, the New York Times reports. The move has reportedly drawn criticism inside both campaign and the White House. Trump's long shots attempt to disqualify enough ballots to win the presidency suffered elsewhere on Friday as well. A Michigan judge rejected a conspiracy-laden injunction claiming election irregularities were rampant in Detroit's Wayne County, and a federal appeals court in Philadelphia rejected Republicans' attempt to toss out 9,300 mail-in ballots that arrived late. Biden's lead in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Georgia are even wider than his edge in Arizona. This is according to the New York Times and Bloomberg. Number 7, conflict in Ethiopia escalates. The Tigray People Liberation Front, the Tigray People Liberation Front, which controls Ethiopia's northern Tigray region, said it targeted 2 airports in the neighboring state of Amhara in retaliation for recent airstrikes by the federal government and warned of further rocket strikes, BBC reports. 2 military personnel were killed and as many as 15 were injured at one of the airports. Tensions between Ethiopia's government and the TPLF have escalated into military clashes over the past month. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has accused forces loyal to Tigray's leaders of carrying out mass killings and ethnic cleansing. Tigray's regional government denies the claims, and the TPLF has accused the federal government of persecution. Amnesty International said it confirmed hundreds of people, quote, were stabbed or hacked to death, end quote, in the Tigray town Mai Kadra earlier this week. This is according to BBC and Al Jazeera. Number 8, labor leaders push for Representative Andy Levin as Biden's labor secretary. In a Friday letter to President-elect Joe Biden's transition team, the UAW, a major union of automobile and mechanical workers, strongly recommended the incoming administration pick Representative Andy Levin, Democrat, Michigan, to head the Department of Labor. UAW President Rory Gamble wrote that Levin has a background in the labor movement and, quote, impeccable credentials, end quote, including working under former President Bill Clinton's Labor Department. Levin is, quote, the only sitting representative or senator that has run a state workforce system, end quote, Gamble noted. Senator Bernie Sanders, independent Vermont, has also reportedly expressed interest in the position. Communications Workers of America President Chris Shelton also endorsed Levin earlier this week, and progressive groups Sunrise Movement and Justice Democrats picked Levin among their top 3, alongside Sanders and Service Employees International Union President Mary Kay Henry. This is according to Fox News and The Week. Number 9, suspects in Arbery killing denied bond. Gregory and Travis McMichael, a father and son who are facing malice, murder, and felony murder charges for the killing of Ahmaud Arbery, an unarmed 25-year-old black man who was shot while jogging in Georgia earlier this year, were denied bond on Friday, as was a third man involved in the shooting, William Bryan. The McMichaels claim they pursued Arbery in their truck before his death because he fit the description of a burglary suspect. But NPR notes that no such crimes had been committed in the 7 weeks leading up to the killing. Arbery's mother Wanda Cooper-Jones said she was, quote, relieved, end quote. The McMichaels will, quote, stay behind bars, end quote. This is according to NPR and NBC News. Number 10, Miami Marlins hire Kim Ng. Kim Ng, MLB's first female general manager. The Miami Marlins on Friday announced Kim Ng has been hired as the team's general manager, making her the first female manager, Major League Baseball GM. She's also the, quote, second person of Asian descent to lead an MLB team, end quote. MLB says. Ng, Ng, how do you pronounce that? Ng had previously served as MLB's senior vice president of baseball operations since 2011, and before that worked for the Chicago White Sox, the New York Yankees, and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Quote, after decades of determination, it is the honor of my career to lead the Miami Marlins as their next general manager. Quote, that was a terrible quote. Okay, quote, after decades of determination, it is the honor of my career to lead the Miami Marlins as their next general manager, end quote, Ng said. From 1998 to 2001, Ng worked as the New York Yankees assistant general manager, and at 29, she made history as the youngest person and second woman to serve in that role, NBC News reports. This is according to ESPN and MLB. Well, that's wonderful. That's 10 things you need to know today for Saturday, November 14th, 2020. Thank you so much for listening. I have to get to a wedding. Oh, my goodness. I think it's almost time to go. Thank you so much for listening to me stumble along as I try to keep my head filled with current events and learn some stuff. And if you like the sound of my voice and you want to learn some stuff too, take the journey with me. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you're up to. But don't make me the only source of news. Make sure that you look up all the footnotes and find out the facts. Make sure that I'm saying it all right. And if I'm saying something wrong, hey, call me out on it. I like it. I like knowing if I want to know that I'm doing the right thing. I'm saying the right thing. I'm reading the news as it is. I don't really editorialize too much. I just read what gets curated for me in the mornings. And I read them at some point during the day. Usually it's not this early in the afternoon. Usually it's about 7 o'clock because that's when I'm done with my regular job, my Joe job, my day stuff. So I get to it when I get to it. Put the notifications on. Find me on Twitch. Find me on YouTube. Find me on Facebook. And you'll know when I'm live. And you can see my beautiful face if you're looking at the video version. I might start putting these out as audio versions again. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I've been putting the What Makes You Famous podcast out as audio versions as well as video. And if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check that podcast out. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. And if you don't want to watch me stream some games, you could find me on Twitch or Facebook Gaming, hashtag Keys Dan Gaming. That's it for me. Keys Dan, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace.